A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Monday, November 20th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. The Legislative Task Force formed to investigate a contract between Star CIO and Orange County for information technology consulting services is slated to begin a second day of testimony today. A particular memo in a packet of documents presented to committee members in the first session seemed to cause confusion among members and Samantha Swakata, the county's General Services Commissioner. A new study finds that economic ties that bind New York City and the suburbs are stronger than ever, despite people working from home during the pandemic and many continuing to do so. While people return to the office and others continue to work remotely, Regional Plan Association Senior Regional Fellow Chris Jones says the findings of their study were quite interesting.
We compared 2019 to 2022, and we found that there was actually the number of people who work for a New York City employer and who live outside of the five boroughs was almost the same in 2022 as it was just before the pandemic. And the amount of income that they're taking back has actually increased.
The study found that the Hudson Valley relies on commuter salaries more than any other New York City suburb, representing more than 34% of total wages in the area. 5 Revolutionary War heroes buried at Middletown Hillside Cemetery were memorialized on Sunday as the cemetery board erected a monument and properly displayed their gravestones. The heroes were recently rediscovered some 150 years after they were buried in Middletown's oldest churchyard at the First Congregational Church in Middletown. The church was established in 1875. The graveyard was moved in 1871 to historic Hillside Cemetery, and the mass grave and stones have been resting there since then. Recently, some cousins of the original settler of Middletown, David Moore, came from Utah and found a way to identify 98 early settlers buried there. The Hillside Cemetery Board has since raised funds to properly memorialize the 5 Revolutionary War soldiers and their wives by erecting a monument. They were Captain Isaiah Vale, Edward Howell, John Tuthill, Captain Daniel Denton, William Carpenter, and Tartulas Brewster. The Hudson Valley's private sector job count grew by 8,600 or 1.1%. to 810,200 in the year ending in October. Sullivan County employment grew the most at 5.1%. Ulster County recorded just under 1% job growth. The Orange, Rockland, Westchester area and Dutchess Putnam Metropolitan Division each had 0.8% of job growth. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
Marikey Center for Hope in Newburgh did not skip a beat when fire damaged their facilities at Broadway and City Terrace in June. It continued to offer programs. It had originally started 13 years ago as a gang diversion program, but morphed into enrichment for Newburgh youth. It's now located at 280 Broadway, where it continues to offer activities for youth age 11 to 21, says Marie Galari, Marikey's regional director.
We have a dance studio. We have a carpentry studio where they get to make things and redo furniture, refurbish furniture. We have a soap room where we exclusively work on making the soap and kind of expanding our line of products that the kids make.
That soap is made from goat's milk and is sold by the students. The organization is funded by the Orange County Department of Social Services. Village police in Ellenville have arrested a 30-year-old Lake Katrine man and charged him in connection with making over 27 incidents of graffiti vandalism in the downtown business area. Christopher Broski was charged with criminal mischief and making graffiti. A tentative agreement has been reached between 600 members of the Transit Workers Union and Metro North Railroad, officials announced. The pact affects train mechanics, inspectors, cleaners, and cabinet makers and runs through October 30th. A mid-morning crash in Port Jervis on Saturday claimed one life, Police Chief William Warden says. The accident occurred on Park Avenue just after 10 a.m. A passenger vehicle was traveling on Park Avenue when it crossed the center double yellow line and struck a large flatbed tow truck driving in the opposite direction. The driver of the car was trapped and had to be extricated by Port Jervis Fire Department. The 34-year-old Glenn Spayman was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead, Warden said. Police are withholding the name of the victim pending notification of relatives. Orange County Family Court Judge Christine Kohulik and the Department of Social Services celebrated National Adoption Day on Friday at the county courthouse in Goshen. November is National Adoption Month, and the National Adoption Day is an annual event that encourages courts and communities throughout the U.S. to come together to finalize adoptions and to celebrate families who adopt. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.